how would you summarize the main achievements of the two Chrodis joint actions together?
First of all, I would say it's 7 years of work on a good practice transfer, more than 20 pilots across Europe, a network of experts, and potentially the start of a meaningful change, reaching thousands of EU citizens as we speak. On the other hand, together with the team, we managed to identify, structure, methodically transfer, piloting the good practices in completely different settings, and in some cases, measure the outcomes and actual gains. This might very well pave the way for future good practice transfers. In fact, when so much is known, it is a matter of timely and successful practice transfer or implementation, while closing the evidence practice gap when improving the healthcare outcomes or patient satisfaction. If we wanted to hear more numbers, over the last 3 years, Chrodis Plus has implemented 21 pilot projects aimed at testing tools and good practices for certain chronic diseases, and also has held 16 policy dialogues. It has brought together 50 partners from 21 European countries. However, the biggest achievement is to prove the concept that a good practice created in one part of the world can be systematically and successfully transferred to a completely different environment with a great results. And importantly, the implementation and are real. Applicability and gains for the citizens are real, and further gains will now count on further member states' involvement rather than the joint action, which always has a beginning and the end.
Wow, that's really quite impressive. So, just speaking about Europeans and the benefits to them, can you recount perhaps a story, a personal story about a European citizen who has benefited from this project?
Thank you. That's a very good one. Well, we have in fact a number of those stories. Chrodis Plus implementers are the real champions, as we say, of the project, who reached more than 8,000 EU citizens directly and counting. It is a real challenge to single out a single EU citizen story, because there are plenty to share. And those would encounter a child in Malta, kindergarten, encouraged to carry out a healthy behavior, or a patient suffering chronic wounds in Slovenia, school children in Italy, multimorbid patients in Spain, Italy, or Lithuania, people with chronic diseases at the workplace. But if you wanted to actually get that one story, I could try to summarize with an elderly man in Iceland who participated in a multimodal program. And after increasing his physical activity and after the lectures on health and nutrition, he chose to change his daily routine that caused significant improvements of his health. Measured fat percentage has gone down, muscle mass increased, risk factors such as metabolic syndrome have also all developed favorably. Blood pressure is down, waist circumference is down, triglycerides went down, blood sugar decreased, and the good cholesterol, HDL, increased. In the long run, he will be able to better perform the actions of daily living, and can live longer and more happy in his own residence, and have the opportunity to work longer in the labor market. So this is just one story, but as I said, it is probably too difficult to single out.
That really sounds, incredible. And yeah, the more Europeans that can start, getting the results, the better. So I guess my last question would be, what needs to be done? What needs to happen to cement these best practices into a lasting policy so more Europeans all Europeans can benefit from what you've learned during these two projects?
Well, we are really happy about the change what we are causing. In fact, those 8,000 are counted, but as we go on, the numbers will increase. Chrodis Plus is coming to an end, so naturally there comes a question: what is next, and what did we do? After a successful pilot implementation, we have asked team members about the future plan of the practice, tool or model they were working on during the Chrodis Plus joint action. I'm actually anxious to share that most of the partners or implementers who responded will continue working the path we all started in Chrodis Plus, and will step beyond the project. So motivated implementers who have the motivation and need actual tools, they have them, they will carry on their work beyond the joint action. And for the rest of the implementers, the tools will become available. So one is motivated implementers. The other one, I would say, member states, health ministries, again, who are motivated enough for a bigger change, a national change. Let me give you only one example from a number of those within the joint action. After successful implementation, the Directorate of Health in Iceland will implement elements of JOG practice, which within the health promoting community program, an umbrella for comprehensive health promotion work in municipalities, including pre, compulsory, and upper secondary schools. Its main aim is to support communities, schools, to create supportive environments that promote healthy lifestyle, health and well-being for all. More municipalities are joining, and for example, by the end of October, at least 91% of the population will live in a health promoting community in Iceland. Of those 356,000, which is the population Iceland in January 2019. And there's many more examples of these Chrodis Plus success stories where actual member states or health ministries are saying, look, we saw your pilot, we're going to take it on, and we're going to roll it out, scale it up nationally, with increasing those actual benefits from those 8,000 to, as in Iceland's case, more than 300,000 cases. As I said, we have more similar scale-ups happening on a national level, tackling the well-known challenges of non-communicable diseases. In fact, I probably should conclude that it is a great joy to see how the joint action, initiated and supported by the European Commission and the member states, transfers to actual measurable gains, methodology for repeating the results independently of the joint action, a network of experts, and widely available database of good practices. All of it is like, I would say, a toolbox for any motivated implementer, let it be a healthcare ministry, institution, or just an eager physician, where actual gains are basically directed towards actual use citizens.
I mean, that's terrific stuff. That's really great stuff. Do you maybe have any other final thoughts or a little farewell, maybe speech to the two joint actions before we wrap up?
Well, in terms of the joint action, we have only a few months left to finish off our work. I would also always say the member states or ministries or implementers are due to have a really useful, tested, and proven tool to implement the good practices. One thing which I just want to repeat is there's so much known, there's so much done already in the world. So the only problem is the evidence practice gaps. And to close those gaps, those are the tools which are actually needed and useful for anyone eager and motivated to work on it. So I will wish to all of us just success to finish the work we started, I would say 7 years ago. And for everyone else who is eager and motivated to look into them, to see how they work, to read about what they did, and start using them. It's up to everyone's disposal.
Great. Well, I look forward to hearing more about what has been achieved on the 27th of October at the closing conference. And until then, best of luck wrapping up. I'm sure you're very busy. So thanks so much for devoting a bit of your time for this.